Harda.
So I don't care how you are. Let's get to the topic.
Hey, why man? Why? தூக்கத்தோட நான் அப்படியே இருக்கேன் but it's
Why
a
தூக்க
weekend,
கலக்கம்? Day
man.
3 o'clock already.
Huh? மச்சான், all day, anytime, every time I am தூக்கம். I'm tired, man.
Yeah, same lah.
Yeah.
வேற என்ன பண்ணு?
என்ன பண்ண?
Huh?
என்ன பண்ண?
Are you asking me or
இல்ல வேற என்ன
reflecting?
பண்ண? வேற என்ன பண்ணன்னு சொன்னீங்க?
Never mind. இந்த வாரத்தோட topic is so let me give some context and then tell you the topic. So I was just randomly thinking like
நீ யோசிச்சியா?
yeah. So நான் வந்து I was watching at the thing நேத்தோ முந்தானேத்தோ I was watching a lot like in the audio launch like Rajini of the speech and Kamal of the speech and it was for Surya படம் I think. So காப்பான் ரஜினி வந்து ஸ்பீச் கொடுத்தாரு. ஸோ அப்போ வந்து நான் யோசிச்சுக்கிட்டு இருந்தேன் இல்லை ஏதாவது ஒரு ஈவெண்ட்னா அவங்க லைக் பெரிய ஈவெண்ட் இஃப் பட்ஜெட் யாராவது அவைலபிள்னா கால் ரஜினி இல்லாட்டி கமல். ஸோ நான் வந்து சும்மா யோசிச்சுக்கிட்டு இருந்தேன். தென் தே ஷோ அந்த ஹீரோயின் ஷாட் ஆல் இந்த ஆடியன்ஸ் உட்காந்துட்டு போயிட்டு. ஸோ நான் யோசிச்சுக்கிட்டு இருந்தேன் லைக் ஒரு ரஜினி கமல் எம்ஜிஆர் சிவாஜி லெவலுக்கு தமிழ் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில் will there ever be a day where any heroine is at that considered at that level ஒரு அந்த பப்ளிக்கோட ஆயில?
Possible?
I hope so, but I don't know.
இல்லை பாசிபிள். ஏன்னா ட்ரெடிஷ்னல் தமிழ் சினிமா வந்து நம்ம இது வந்து ஒரு ரெண்டு வகையில் அட்டாக் பண்ணேன் இந்த கொஷனை. அட்டாக் வந்து லூஸ் டேர்ம்ஸாக யூஸ் பண்ணேன். how you answer this question? in my opinion வந்து தமிழ் சினிமா வந்து இல்லை ஜெனரல் சினிமா வந்து பெண்களை வந்து லீடாக போடுறதில்ல. in most 90% of the films is male lead. isn't like a female lead. like மகளிர் மட்டும் படம் வந்துச்சுல.
talking about தமிழ் படம் right?
yeah, I'm talking about தமிழ் படம்.
Okay.
So இல்லை நம்ம ஆல்சோ சொன்ன ஸ்டேட் வந்து like general films வந்து there's not a lot of female leads in like James Bond all is what female centered man. No, what?
James Bond not, but
Wonder Woman is all lah. But when I break it, but most of it is male lead. Super, even like you see Justice League and all that, right? Superman, Spider-Man, Wonder Woman. It's like the male heroes outnumber the female heroes. அது வந்து சும்மா வேற கான்டெக்ஸ்க்கு. பட் கமிங் பேக் டு தமிழ் சினிமா, நம்ம தமிழ் சினிமா இருக்குல்ல, ஃபீமேல் லீடில் இருக்கிற அந்த மூவிஸ் முன்னணி நடிகைகளாக இருக்கிற அந்த படங்கள் வந்து கம்மி தான். சொன்ன மாதிரி மகளிர் மற்றும் அந்த ஜோதிகா நடித்த படங்கள் ரீசன்ட்லி அந்த I forgot the name but there was a couple of good movies she acted in recent times. So is அரிது but it's more in current times. The 60s, 70s, 80s வந்து is lesser, but ever since the 90s it's getting more, and now in the 2000s, 2010s and 20s you can see more. Nayanthara is like, you know, as an actress அவங்க வந்து she's doing more female lead roles than like you know, like male pairing and the மாதிரி. Even the male, if there's a male pairing, right, it's like the male is like given a lesser, the more importance is given to the actress, the heroine rather than the hero. So அந்த மாதிரி நிறைய படங்கள் வர இந்த ஸ்டோரி லைன் வந்து அந்த மாதிரி வந்துச்சுன்னா அவங்களே அந்த ஸ்டார்டம் ஸ்டேட்டஸில் வந்து வைப்பாங்கங்கிறது தான் என்னோட தாட். ஸோ therefore to be like ரஜினி கமல் அந்த ஸ்டேச்சர் ரைட் கொஞ்சம் நாள் எடுக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஆனால் அது வந்து நாட் பேஸ்ட் ஆன் லைக் த actress talent. It's more of the கதைகள். How is it centered across? Is it a hero-centric story, or you know, like how is the importance given to the female lead as well?
No, but I understand your point, but my thing was the level of fame. Do you think அவங்க ரோல்ஸ் இருக்கிறது yes is I would say I think இந்த வாரிசு துணிவு எபிசோட் அப்போ பேசினேன். I felt like it was a step back அந்த ரஷ்மிகா எடுத்த ரோல்.
So
So generally was going in a better direction. Apapa you have like road bump, like speed bumps here and there. I think it's normal, but as long as they continue lah. But on the level of fame where Hollywood they look at like Meryl Streep, where are they? Angelina Jolie,
the Tomb Raider.
Yes.
அந்த மாதிரி படங்கள் like I said females
as in, not the role. I'm not talking about the roles. Like Rajini, I'm telling you Rajini, not telling you about Basha. I'm telling you about Rajini.
So it's like famous actress lah, famous actor.
To be at that level, like to be considered that famous where cut out எல்லாம் இருக்கு, like for example Trisha படம் வருது, then they like put பாலாபிஷேகம் all that crap outside.
I think they do
no, like not
they do
this level lah. Like for Rajini Kamal level தெரியுமா, I don't know exactly, but I am aware நடிகைகள் சங்கம் and all that is available and they do like பாலாபிஷேகம் and all that. Like for example ஒரு தலைவர் cut out level காடா, because I'm talking about Rajini Kamal level. I'm asking whether one day they will reach that level. That's my question.
They will
Based on what?
It is possible.
I know it's possible, but do you think you will reach?
Yeah. Because my answer is going to be solely based on like the story that's coming out in Tamil cinema. Because it's, you see, இப்போ தமிழ் சினிமா வந்து it's not just villain வந்து ஒரு sad story, then he come up and then he finishes the villain and he becomes successful. It's just no more that same guidebook. There are a lot of creative stories coming up. There are a lot of creative directors, I think அது வந்து நடக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். It's possible. Like Tomb Raider is like female centric. I emphasize it's the story which will make the film. Because like Vijay Sethupathi, right? If அவர் வந்து pizza படத்துல, for me lah, I think pizza and like நடுவுல கொஞ்சம் பக்கத்தை காணோம், அந்த மாதிரி படத்துல வந்து it's a completely different dynamics. It's a completely different story. It's not the same kind of story. That's what gave him, I think, the fame, because he was able to bring out his talent from that. Like you can see he's talented in that role, So and the fame வந்து அதனால தான் வந்துச்சு. So I say the கதை has a huge part to play in bringing out the best out of an actor or an actress. In this case, the கதை வந்து, if we can pull out the best out of the actress, for sure.
I understand what you're saying. If you look at it that simply, then I think they should have been at the level, at Rajini Kamal level very long ago already.
There's a problem.
Yeah,
in my opinion, there's a problem.
Yeah, what?
Which is the money in the movie industry right now, right? I don't think anybody would have paid to watch that previously. I think it's more on the ரசிகர்கள், what they expect out of a movie. For example, Kamal movies. Kamal movies, right, are not appreciated when they come out. அவரோட ரசிகர்களை தவிர்த்து, right?
Yeah.
Like Vishwarupam, all right. Not many people actually enjoyed it at the start. But we appreciated the movie after. And not Vishwarupam. There's some other movie.
Heram.
I forgot. Heram is one more, right? When you watch Heram now, right? Even Sivapadikaram illa adu Anbe Sivam.
Yeah.
Anbe Sivam, right? You watch back now, man did a very good job. The acting, the story, and it's completely, you appreciate it only later.
I get what you're saying, but when all in the படங்கள்லாம் வந்தப்போ he is already in God mode. People already call him Andar. So my thing is, right, is not so much on the கதை role or that. It's like பெண்கள் have done in the மாதிரி படங்கள், but
it's not enough. Not enough.
Yes and no, but I feel that is not so. I think the issue is with the public and not so much the actresses, because let me finish. It's more so to do with, if let's say you do the comparison between male and female sports, male football, female football. generally, traditionally,
Mm.
the equity built up in the male football market is much higher compared to on the female football market.
Correct,
படங்களுக்கும்
correct,
அதே equivalent வச்சுக்குவோம். Even
correct.
though the product is somewhat the same, the equity and the நடிகைகள்
Mm,
based படங்கள் versus hero based படங்கள்
mm,
is completely different for the ஆண்கள் நடிக்கிற படங்கள்.
mm,
And
mm,
that is because, in my opinion, I think overseas markets like I think because of OTT hopefully it will change because it's more of a global market rather than just Tamil Nadu starting with Tamil Nadu அப்புறம் அங்க
and then different,
போறது.
yeah.
So now இப்போ கொஞ்சம் difference இருக்கு. In the fact that it's more global, but the issue is still that on the local market, I don't think
Mm-hmm.
அவங்க ஃபீமேல்ஸ் நடிக்கிற படங்களை ஒரு ஆண்கள் நடிக்கிற படங்களோட அளவுக்கு தீவிரமாக போய் பார்க்குறாங்கன்னு நினைக்கல. I think அங்கே தான் ப்ராப்ளம் இருக்குது. ஏன்னா if you look at it like Nayanthara, she trying a lot of different roles. ஜோதிகா வேற படங்கள் பண்ணுறாங்க. Trisha is also somewhat selective with her படங்கள். Amala Paul also tries to do different role, like the ஆடை all that. So ஆனால் அந்த படங்கள் வந்து they don't run in the box office as well as if let's say ஒரு சூர்யா, ஒரு ரஜினி, ஒரு கமல்,
yeah.
விஜய் all that இந்த மாதிரி வந்தா. For example, until now, right, I know that தளபதி எத்தனை படம் நடிச்சிருக்காரு, அஜித் எத்தனை படம் நடிச்சிருக்காரு, all that, right? Because the fans put so much emphasis on that. You look at Manorama, for example, எத்தனை படங்கள் நடிச்சாங்க. We only aware because Guinness gave her the record, not because the fans celebrate.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure Nayanthara, Trisha, how many years in the industry?
You see, அவங்க வந்து they are well known in the industry, but like you said, if you're talking about specifically like the reach where it becomes like Rajini, Kamal, right? I think it's coming because you see, நீ மனோரமான்னு சொன்ன கரெக்டா, வேற யாரும் சொல்ல முடியும் அந்த மாதிரி அவங்க காலத்துல
நோவான்லாம்
இருக்காங்க, but it's just like they do the typical actress, they fulfill that's their role. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, I think it's coming. People are appreciating more. It's down to the generation. இப்போ நீ அந்த ஃபீமேல் ஃபுட்பால் எக்ஸாம்பிள் சொன்னேன் கரெக்டா, 20 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி ஃபீமேல் ஃபுட்பாலோட டிமாண்ட் எப்படி இருந்துச்சு? I don't think it was a lot, They were playing recreational.
Yeah.
The demand now, they're making it into a competition and there are more eyes on it. There are more resources pumping in. It's not as much as the male football. Male football has been dominant because the amount of resources it went, the amount of effort, it's completely different. Anal, female football is upcoming. The female football World Cup, it's getting covered now. It's getting more, how you say, there are more eyeballs on it now. So, நான் தைரியமா சொல்லலாம், female football வந்து give it about 20 years, within 20 years, the quality would be much higher. The standard may not be the same as the male football, right? May not be the same. And it need not be the same. Because football is like a different, it's not the same shit in every league. Premier League is a bit more, physical. La Liga, the Spanish league is a bit more tactical, like they play more fast pace or something like. Different leagues got different styles. So I suppose it's the same thing in the female league. My point being here is the same thing for Tamil cinema. It's been always male-centered so far. My thinking is, right now Nayanthara is probably, Nayanthara, Trisha, இவங்களா they broke that rule where, female or சும்மா வந்து ஹீரோவோட டான்ஸ் பண்ணிட்டு, like what we saw with the actress in Paris, just come for 5 minutes or screen time less. To me, I still think that she took that as an opportunity to act with Vijay. So it's like a chance to act with Vijay. So we can't complain on that or something lah. But that is a role specified by the எழுத்தாளர் or the director, whoever created that role for the story, right? Unnecessary, but they created it for some reason. And the Nayanthara, Trisha, they're breaking that stereotype in my opinion. Like, enna padam? The one, the Vijay Sethupathi husband and she died.
Nayanthara died.
No. Vijay Sethupathi dies.
Vijay Sethupathi dies.
Nayanthara is the lead in that role.
Oh. Police.
Police. ஞாபகம் இருக்கா அந்த படம்?
I know.
I remember the song, அந்த நீயும் நானும் அன்பே. இது
checking. There's one somebody say very nice அற்புதமான படம் ஷரீஃப்.
இமைக்க நொடிகள். Right? See, Imeka Nodigal was like she was a female lead in that sense.
Yeah.
She did a fucking good job in that movie. You know, there's just so many things that you can.
I disagree, but the movie was nice.
I thought she did well.
I don't think she's the best actress. She can give the resting bitch face very well.
She's not. I'm sorry. Don't get me wrong. அவங்க வந்து நான் best actorனு சொல்ல.
Yeah.
I think she did well in that movie. As an actress, I thought she suited that role. Like the casting வந்து சரியா பண்ணிருக்காங்க. It's like Ponniyin Selvan casting வந்து, you know, J.M. Ravi வந்து the king and all that. Fucking perfect, right? அதே மாதிரி இமைக்க நொடியில் வந்து I thought Nayanthara was like a perfect fit. Yeah. If you put Trisha in there, I feel like maybe it couldn't. If you put like say Manorama in there, I think it couldn't. You get my point, right? So I thought casting was well done there. So இந்த மாதிரி படங்கள் வருது. என்னோட பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் வியூ வந்து இந்த மாதிரி படங்கள் கண்டிப்பாக வருது, அதிகமாக வருது compared to the 50 years, you know, 50 years முன்னாடி it's not like that. Last 10 years people are appreciating more of these movies, and I hope நீ சொன்ன மாதிரி அந்த OTT platform மூலமா இது வந்து ஒரு பிரேக் த்ரூ வரோங்கிறது தான் என்னோட நம்பிக்கை.
Is your answer இந்த மாதிரி படங்கள் தொடர்ந்து வந்துகிட்டு இருந்தா இவென்ச்சுவலி பெண் நடிகைகளுக்கு வந்து அந்த சூப்பர் ஸ்டார் உலக நாயகன் லெவலுக்கு புகழ் கிடைக்கும்னு நீ சொல்ற?
Recognition, yeah. It's all down to the கதை. For me, my answer is a story.
I feel mine is half and half with yours. Now, I feel it's possible, but I feel that பெண் நடிகைகள் வந்து they should more of them வந்து இந்த மாதிரி படங்களை எடுத்து செய்யணும் at a larger level. எனக்கு வந்து வழிகாட்டியா நயன்தாரா, த்ரிஷா இந்த மாதிரி இருக்காங்க. ரம்யா கிருஷ்ணன் ஆனா ரம்யா கிருஷ்ணன் வந்து she transition into supporting roles already. But her supporting roles are very important supporting roles. Okay, so we're talking adanaaliye she won't get that. If for example you see like male supporting roles நடிகர்னு பார்த்தா சத்யராஜ் இருக்காரு, he's always doing supporting roles. Now Sarath Kumar also now supporting roles. Prabhu. So and the level they are the kings of their level. You know, their roles.
One actress who's actually leading this, right, I would say it's better than Nayanthara. Arundhati padam. Anushka. She does more female lead movies before Nayanthara. Arundhati. Then she was there was one about the weight loss or something like that. Yeah. I think there is just whether like good. The story is good.
I feel it's more than the story. Okay, story na it goes to underrate the work that has been done so far. I don't think it's a story problem. Story வந்து is they have been doing, ஆனா not enough actresses have been doing.
Yeah lah, so
because they are caught in the mold. அந்த தமிழ் நடிகைகள்லாம் இந்த மாதிரி செய்யணும், and it's not their fault because வாய்ப்பு கொடுக்கணும் producers, directors எல்லாம். So அந்த மாதிரி இந்த மாதிரி செலக்டிவா கதை எடுக்கிற நடிகைகளுக்கு வந்து குறைவு இப்போ வந்து கூடிக்கிட்டு இருக்கு.
அதான் நான் சொல்றேன்.
ஸோ இஸ் ஆன் த ரைட் ட்ராக். பட் ஐ திங்க் இன்னும் ஆக்ட்ரஸஸ் வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு வாய்ப்பை தேடி போகணும். இல்லாட்டி ப்ரொடியூசர்ஸ், கதை எழுத்தாளர்களை வந்து இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கதாபாத்திரங்களை உருவாக்கணும். அண்ட் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில் பவர் உள்ளவங்க வந்து like நடிகர்கள் they should also fight
enable
for
this. Yeah.
இந்த மாதிரி roles. They should not just go with இதான் என் கதையா, ஓகே இவங்க சும்மா பாட்டுக்கா, ஓகே they mustn't do like that. So the guys, because they have so much power, right, they should give them the chance also. இது வந்து one good thing is எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சு அந்த தமிழ் மியூசிக் இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில் இந்த மாதிரி நடக்குது. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் தனுஷ் ஸ்பெசிஃபிக்லி ஆஸ் ஃபார் த ஸ்வேதா மோகனா அந்த வா வாத்தி பாடல் அவங்க தான் பாடணும்னு அவர் கேட்டிருக்காரு. ஆல்வேஸ் ஃபார் தட். ஆனால் அந்த பாட்டு இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில் இருக்கு லைக் ஜானகி இவங்களுக்கெல்லாம் they got their recognition, but at the same level they should more, I feel that more women should fight to accelerate this even more.
அதை நான் ஃபைட்னு சொல்ல மாட்டேன். இட்ஸ் மோர் டு லைக் இது வந்து ஒரு கான்ஷியஸ் இதுவாக இருக்கணும். ஐ திங்க் ப்ரொடியூசர்ஸ், ரைட்டர்ஸ், creatives basically should maybe consider getting off the mold. You சொன்ன மாதிரி the mold வந்து getting off the mold and sort of like exploring creative. ஜோதிகா நடிச்ச படங்கள் recently,
அவங்க படங்கள்லாம் actually very good. There was one படம் ரேவதி also, I think ரேவதி யாரோ ஒரு காமெடி படத்துல நடிச்சாங்க. ஜாக்பாட் ஒரு படம்.
இல்ல ஜாக்பாட் இல்ல, குலேபா கவாலி.
No குல்தான் பிரபுதேவாடா.
Jackpot.
Yeah, Jackpot. Yeah, Revati.
I didn't know.
The movie actually quite funny. Revati and Jyotika. Yeah, Revati, Jyotika, Anand Raj, Mansur Ali Khan.
Hey,
you haven't heard of the movie, right?
I haven't heard.
It's actually not bad. Quite funny. So that's the thing. Revati, Jyotika, இவங்க level நடிகைகள் நல்ல decent enough.
And it's I mean, producers should think about all this factors.
Like they should accelerate even more. The reason why I contemplate, for example, let's say we're talking hypothetically, if let's say I have a daughter and she says she want to get in the Tamil Pada industry, I will be scared. I'll be scared and I don't know what sort of, I mean, if I have a daughter, I will let her make her own decisions for all that, but as a father, I will have certain concerns lah. Like எனக்கு இது ஒரு பயம் இருக்கும். I wonder how they will females industryல portraying all this all that. If அந்த டைம்ல if my daughter is someone who trailblazes and changes everything, then fantastic. I won't hold her back. That's another argument. That's another episode. But if she gets stuck in the mold and it is the current mold, it's very unfair the amount of work they have to put in just to carve a position for themselves. There's a bias in the Tamil industry with this. Males are more favored market-wise.
Because it goes back
to a very male-centric industry.
It goes back to the example. Football, male football.
Yeah.
All eyes on the male football. In this case, Rajini, Kamal, and the Mari.
Yeah.
I still stand by that female actresses the importance irukku. There is importance.
There is. I'm not saying it's no, by the way, in case anybody misunderstood. I'm not saying no.
Just to clarify, it's just that the question here is Rajini Kamal level.
Yeah.
I think Manorama may be the only one, to be honest.
My problem, I think like I said before, is not my problem was not the stories, like as I said before. My problem was the market, the equity that the market has, which means the problem is with the public. For example, என்ன படம் வந்து ஒரு முன்னுதாரணமா இருக்கலாம் ஒரு வெரைட்டிக்கு, ஒரு வெரைட்டிக்கு I don't remember.
Panjathandram?
No, Panjathandram is already Kamal. Like, எந்த படத்தினால ஒரு actor rose to prominence so much?
Vijay Sethupathi அது பீஸா நடுவில் கொஞ்சம் பக்கத்தில் வேணும்.
Okay, so அந்த மாதிரி படங்கள்ல because of public support, the actors made it to another level.
Correct.
Okay. So, if let's say அந்த நயன்தாராவோட படம் என்ன படம் சொன்னேன்?
இமைக்கா நொடிகள்.
If let's say the public gathered that much to support இமைக்கா நொடிகள் to the level where they supported other படங்கள் மற்ற நடிகைகள் நடிச்சதில்ல, then it will be more of a message sent to the producers, more of a message sent to the directors. இந்த படங்களுக்கு ஒரு மார்க்கெட் இருக்கு, தென் அவங்க அதை வச்சு தான் they will இந்த மாதிரி நிறைய படங்கள் செய்வாங்க. ஏன்னா அதான் இஸ் த மோட்டிவேட்டிங் ஃபேக்டர். பிகாஸ் யாராவது படத்தை ப்ரொடியூஸ் பண்ணணும்னு சொன்னால் இந்த படம் ஓடுமா, இந்த நடிகரை போட்டால் படம் ஓடுமா, அதான் கேள்வி.
I mean, if you're a producer, you're thinking from an investor perspective.
Yeah, which is why I'm saying the problem, right, should also be addressed to the public, not so much just the நடிகைகள். நம்ம இந்த மாதிரி நடிகைகள் வந்தாலும் say, oh அவன் இந்த மாதிரி ரோல் பண்ணுறான், ஓ நல்லாவே நடிக்கல, oh this, they are so critical. But what they should do, right, my same argument நான் அந்த football episode சொன்னது, right, is that all the women should gather and support female football. அதே பண்ணா market will go up, people will sponsor more, women footballers will earn more salary, all this all that. Men should also do it. But same thing goes for the நடிகைகள் நடிச்ச தமிழ் படங்கள். Females should also flock and support.
My argument there is female football வந்து குவாலிட்டி வந்து இன்னும் அதிகமாக ஆனிச்சுன்னா, இப்போ இருக்கிற குவாலிட்டி விட இன்னும் அதிகமாக ஆனிச்சுன்னா there'll be much more supporters there. The problem right now is the quality is much better than what it was 10 years ago. And it's only going to improve. So in that scenario, the quality here is the kadai. If the creatives increase for the female leads, I'm pretty sure that the status is going to be much higher. Producers will then flock in to actually say, let's invest in this.
But I understand your point.
It's a double sword. You get what I mean? It's like public.
Okay, let me give you a scenario. Females, all the actresses make fantastic movies. But public not supporting so much. What will the investor do?
True. They will not invest.
Okay.
Anna, how do you define it's a fantastic movie?
Critic rating, kadai quality, all that shit lah.
And this is given by whom?
Subjective. But I would say public, but I'm asking you an investor's perspective. I'm asking you investor's perspective because your answer was kadai nalla irunda investors varuvanga.
Correct.
I am telling you, if I were an investor, I only care about box office number, not whether critic like or not.
Sari, how do you define whether the kadai nalla irukka? Like, how do you define if the movie is good? Like, to me, right, Varisu Tunivu was bad. Varisu was good. Both also was box office. They made money and like they took back all the money. Of course, because Vijay movie and all that, fine. But both made money.
Yeah.
So my point is, right, you put a shitty story and you put Nayanthara. You put a good story, you put Nayanthara also. Or put Trisha, like whatever lah. Point being, you're still going to make back your money. But what defines kada nalla irukka illaiyaanu? நான் வந்து ரிவ்யூ பார்த்துட்டு தான் நான் போய் படத்தை பார்ப்பேன். ஸோ அந்த ரிவ்யூ போடுறது வந்து பப்ளிக் தானே?
No, critic review.
I'm talking about general review. Critic review வந்து
பப்ளிக்னு வச்சுக்கலாம்.
ஈவன் கிரிட்டிக் ரிவ்யூ வந்து அதை பார்த்துட்டு பப்ளிக் போய் பார்ப்பாங்களா இல்லையா? Like,
yeah.
Like whatever Blue Sattamaran says, I do the opposite. He says shit means I'll go watch the movie.
Okay.
You get what I mean? So public are still involved in a certain spectrum. You get what I mean? No?
I get that.
I think public are not ready. Yes, that is the point. Public are not, and the makkal வந்து they're not ready to get all female centric movies. So I know more female centric lead movies.
Yes.
And that is my example to Anbe Sivam and all that.
Yeah.
At the same time, there are also creatives who are not thinking that let's do more female centric movies because it's not balanced.
I get it.
It's not. So to அந்த நீ கேட்ட பாட்காஸ்ட்க்கு கேட்ட கேள்வி வந்து is to me the answer is very simple. It's very straightforward. There are multiple factors involved in this where why female நடிகைகளோட status வந்து is not like Rajini Kamal. ஏன்னா people are not ready for it. நீ சொன்ன மாதிரி producers are not ready for it. They are not willing to invest if let's say the people are not ready for it. And the creatives, the kades they're not female centric. They're not female friendly. I would say these are the 3 core reasons why it's not happening. There's no one there. இதுக்கு one specific reason நான் சொல்ல முடியாது.
I also not saying one specific reason, but I feel that, like, I stand by my answer with regards to the fact that if public takes more of a stance, if public no support panna, it sends a message directly to the people who control the industry. For one argument நான் எடுத்து சொல்றேன். For example, your argument was படம் நல்லா இருக்கா இல்லையா, critics say and people say on the internet. If I were an investor and I'm going to invest in a padam, I don't care what people say on the internet. I care how much money the movie made.
Correct.
So I don't give a shit about your review. I don't give a shit about what you say online. I only care about how much dollars the movie makes. My argument is tackling that. My argument is that if the public go and show அவங்களோட support to females நடிக்கிற படங்கள் consistently, it sends a message directly to the investors saying that, hey, இந்த படம் நல்லா ஓடி இருக்கு, இந்த படங்கள் continue to run better, இங்க ஒரு market இருக்கு, they will sponsor more of these படங்கள் and more of these படங்கள் will come out and more opportunities for female actresses. If the support comes up, sends a message directly to the market and go. It's a supply and demand thing.
For that, there needs to be more female-centric movies. Which means, you get what I mean or not?
You understand my argument, not? Is the fact that
argument புரியுது.
We can't go from one female-centric movie to 100 movies in a month. The one movie that comes out needs to run.
Correct. And it has been running. That's my point.
It hasn't been running as well. My argument is that it hasn't been running as well as it should or could be doing. If more of the public goes and supports, that's my argument.
இல்ல மச்சா, but my point is, right, நம்ம வந்து going back to the female football again, is doing better than what it was 10 years ago. That's
I agree.
So
are you understanding my point or not?
I understand your point. You're
What's
saying
my point?
public
Reiterate my point.
Public needs to go and watch these movies and make it a box office hit. That's like they should be
consistently.
They should be showing that.
Yeah.
But for that to be consistent, for that to happen, it needs to have a better creative. It needs to have better story. Like recently, there was one movie Trisha acted.
Yeah, Netflix வந்துச்சு தானே?
I think so. It was rubbish.
Yeah.
You get what I mean? It was rubbish. It's a female-centric lead, but it's rubbish. So if you produce movies like that, of course it's going to affect. But the thing is, right, நம்ம வந்து இப்போ வந்து அந்த competition வந்து is with the male.
Yeah.
அது வந்து எத்தனை ஷீட் படம் வந்தாலும் they don't care because it's already dominated. You know what I mean? So
okay, let me give this argument to you. Let's look at female wrestling. For people who don't know, I'll give you some context. Female wrestling வந்து நீங்க இன்டர்நெட்ல கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கலாம், maybe if Facebook videos பார்த்தா how objectified women were in wrestling industry. Basically, women க்கு கொடுத்த matches வந்து is like what, bra and panties match, evening gown match, and they'll come just to show skin and go. That's all.
Yeah.
And the late 80s, 90s, early 2000s அதான் அவங்களோட ரோலா இருந்துச்சு. Unfortunately,
in plain terms, right, female wrestlers were sexually objectified.
Yeah, sexually objectified.
Yeah, there's no hiding. It's a.
We can make another episode on this, but my sister gave a point about this last time. Hey, why this female wrestler coming out underwear? Then I asked her, Triple H coming out in what for you jeans? So it's another episode, we can talk about it.
Yes.
I agree with the fact that the females are sexually objectified, but men are also sexually objectified because the stereotype that the men have is like, oh, hunky, this and that.
அது வேற.
So we can do another episode on this. I'm not saying that women are not objectified, by the way, but it's different.
Yes.
So the industry was that on the time, like, even though the females were actually very good athletes.
Yeah.
Jacqueline, they had Ivory, Molly Holly, they were all very good athletes. These are female wrestlers, by the way, in the sport பார்க்காதவங்களுக்கு. So அவங்களுக்கு இந்த மாதிரி எபிலிட்டி திறமை இருந்தோம், அவங்களுக்கு வந்து அந்த opportunities வரல. Even though they were good, they fought for it, but there was a glass ceiling that they couldn't break. Over time, female wrestlers வந்து they fought and they had better quality matches, and public supported the female wrestlers. The public was the one that caused this change. Because if you look at the talent level, right, talent level was consistent, but they didn't have an opportunity to show it. And these two wrestlers called Trish and Lita, they were the one who they started with the mold. For example, like Trisha செஞ்ச மாதிரி ட்ரிஷாவோட இண்டஸ்ட்ரியில பார்த்தா she also started with like அந்த சாமி படங்கள் all கில்லி all this order, and she carved out a position for herself over time. She broke her ceiling. So in the மாதிரி Trish and Lita, they wrestled, public supported them, and they broke the ceiling for themselves. Over time, because at the board level, like Triple H, William Regal, all that, they all gave more opportunity to female superstars. And then they, over time, through the quality of wrestling, whoever was handed the ball to run with, they ran with it, they knocked it out of the park, and public supported them more. Correct. Because of the higher ratings during TV segments and the feedback on social media, all that, people took notice, and the in charge also spearheaded it even more.
Correct.
Now, even though it's similar to them, now we can compare it to the men's one already. Not all men's matches are good, but men have a place in the roster on the TV time. Correct. Same thing for women. Not all the women matches are good, but they have a place in the TV time. It's not the same as men, but it's much better than it was before. Similar to your argument. But my feedback here is the speed of the change in the women's industry in WWE is much faster.
So, another point is very simple. நீ வந்து the Trish Stratus Lita சொன்னீல.
Yeah.
The storyline was eye-capturing, which got the people more involved. That's why I say it's a double-edged sword. For people to be involved, the story needs to be good. If they're going to just objectify Lita and Trish Stratus, it doesn't make sense.
I guess, yeah.
So that's my point. See, WWE, the reason why people are able to make the change there is, there is a board, there is a structure to that. It's an organization. There is a structure to that organization where I would use this term very lightly. People are not conservative there.
Yeah.
The culture is different there.
Yes.
The whole structure is different there, right? நான் தமிழ் சினிமாவுக்கு எடுத்துட்டு வரேன். I'm not sure what organization runs with what. It's not WWE.
Yeah.
Right? There is a structure, but it's too messy.
Yeah.
And there's no one person running it.
Yeah, I guess.
But it goes back to the point where people need to be accepting these stories. And there needs to be good stories that comes out so that people can accept it. And the change will come through OTT.
Yes.
Not through box office.
Yeah.
That is ultimately, I think, where the future lies for female-centric lead movies. Right? You capture them in their homes first, Netflix, Prime, and the platform, you capture them with good stories so that people will invest into box offices that comes out, which will take notice of investors. In the money Netflix, investors like put in more money into Netflix, put series coming out in Netflix and all that. So, I understand your argument. Your argument is valid. Like, both our arguments are valid. We are saying the same thing, but two different groups, basically. நீ பப்ளிக்னு சொல்ற, நான் கதைன்னு சொல்றேன். அது ரெண்டா ஒன்னாக்குனாதான் ஃபீமேலோட இந்த ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் ரஜினி கமல் மாதிரி ஆகுங்கிறது தான் என்னோட தாட்ஸ்.
Yeah. I agree lah. I think number one, if let's say on a spectrum, if we put it right, I place more emphasis on public. You place more emphasis on story.
Yep.
They do go hand in hand, but
it has to go hand in hand.
Yeah, problem என்னன்னா is that இருக்கிற limited quantityல people should show more support. அப்புறம் நீ சொன்ன மாதிரி கதை இன்னும் வரும்.
This is where probably platforms like Netflix and all are enabling this. அதான் நான் சொல்றேன். நீ சொன்ன it's not as fast as it should. ஏன்னா WWEல இது மாறிட்டு and all that.
No, it's not as fast as it's not a reason, but it's a very good case study.
The reason being is because there's nothing to enable the change in Tamil cinema. ஏன்னா மூவிஸ் வந்து இப்போ வந்து
people bro.
பட் மூவிஸ் வந்து சினிமாவில் தானே வந்துட்டு இருந்துச்சு இவ்வளோ நாளா. லைக் நெட்ஃப்ளிக்ஸ் அதில் தான் நத்திங் ஒன். இப்போ தான் இந்த பெண்டமிக் மூலயமா all these are new. Changes are coming up. So my point of view is give it another 10 years. If படப்போச்சு வந்து இன்னும் 10 years வந்து ஓடிட்டு இருந்தாக்கா 10 yearsக்கு அப்புறம் இந்த எபிசோட் மறுபடியும் we'll do a part 2 for this episode. Then we'll see who are the actresses who are coming up. We'll see what are the movies.
Hopefully you can get someone on the show, man. If you're at the level.
யாருக்கு தெரியும், நம்மவே நடிகர்கள் ஆயிடலாம். We'll be playing supporting role in that movies.
We be Kaunamani Senthil, we Kaunamani
Sarbal அடிப்பேன் நான். Actually both of us will be Senthil, bro. நம்ம ரெண்டு பேரும்
actually no, we both play Kaunamani role in our group. வேற யாராவது அடி வாங்கிட்டு இருப்பாங்க. Yeah, but I think yeah lah, so we both agree but to different extents lah. So I think that's the conclusion. Like நீ சொன்ன மாதிரி hopefully ஒரு 10-20 வருஷத்துல இந்த டாபிக்கை ரீவிசிட் பண்ணலாம். பார்ப்போம் என்ன சொல்றோம்னு. Have a good week everybody.
Bye.
படம் போச்சே.